In this video I'm going to show you how to fold a cube that pops into shape. It starts off flat like this and it can pop. It was inspired by something I saw in a craft program where you could have an elastic band inside and you put this inside a greetings card, and when you open the card it kind of magically pops into shape. And I thought we could do an origami version, and this is it. So I call this the Snappy Cube, and I'm going to show you how to fold it now. What we will need is 2 sheets of paper. These are standard 15cm origami sheets. You can fold it out of just about anything though. Thicker paper might actually be better. So I'm going to start with 1 sheet, and first thing I'm going to do, might sew it up, I'm going to valley fold into thirds. And the way I do this is using the judgment rolling method. So if I just bend the paper to what I think is a third, so that this distance and this distance are the same. If I bend the back of it like that as well, I can now judge those edges, and I'm slightly out, so I'll make some adjustment. I'll just roll that back there, roll that back there. Nearly perfect, a bit more that way, a bit more that way. And when I'm happy that I've got accurate thirds, I'm going to make a pinch. There, and I've got 2 pinches now. I'm going to use one of those pinches as the basis of my first valley fold. And I'm going to fold the other edge to meet that. And these should be our thirds. I'll just double check by folding this over and checking it the same. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're going to need to fold the creases this way and on the other sheet. And rather than do that rolling method repeatedly, what I do is I put one of the creases in place. I'm going to get my next sheet. I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to use this to gauge where I need to make the crease. So there, that's another third. Let's just put this side in as well. And use it again to do it the other way. Finally, we can use this module to put the creases on the first one, going the other way. So this on top of that, line it up, and the final set of thirds. Get that out of the way now. And we should have folded a 3x3 grid of squares. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these little squares, I'm going to valley fold the diagonals both ways. So valley fold diagonal like that. I'll do this one as well. We're actually going to fold 2 adjacent corners, just 2. So, and then I'm going to fold the diagonals this way. So if I turn the paper, if I fold it like this, I'm only going to crease the first segment, like that, just to there, and the same on this one. Okay. So we've got our 2 crosses. If I turn the paper over, what we want to have is a diagonal crease here and here. So I'm going to fold this corner to this point, but I'm only going to crease this section. This is just below that cross we've made. We're putting in one more diagonal there. I'll do the same with this corner to here. And that's all the pre-creasing finished with. There. So let's turn that over. What we're going to do now is we're going to fold this edge and this edge at the same time with the diagonal in place. So I'm going to fold this edge, and it will just lie flat like that. So there we are. Okay. And what we want to do is this raw edge, we want to value fold that to here. So it's helpful to actually lift this slightly so you can see what we're doing. I'm going to just lift this flap and value fold it in half like that. I'll put that flap down again now. And we want to do the same with this side. So I'm going to lift this up, I'm going to value fold this across, let this form a point, and then we want to fold this edge there. So again, I'm going to lift this up a little bit, take this edge and value fold it in half. And that we'll end up with kind of a mushroom type shape. This needs to be a value fold all the way through, so I'm just going to reinforce the existing crease here. Okay. And what we're going to do, let's turn it around this way, I'm going to make a kind of a squash fold. So you can put my finger in a pocket here to take a single sheet, and we're going to fold on the existing crease here, and as the paper sort of bends outwards, we want to fold diagonal right up to this corner. So it's kind of, I'm going to stretch it right to this corner as far as it will go, and you've made a kind of a squash fold like that. So kind of a swivelly squash. And we'll do the same on this side. So lift this up, and we're going to squash it so that it touches this corner. Okay. Now these bottom parts can just swing up and fold them flat. And these flaps here are what's going to be used to lock the model. We need a valley crease here so it lines up with the rest of the square. So let's put that in place. So this is our reference. Just going to valley fold, crease like that. I'll do the same on this one. And one last fold. This little coloured triangle here, we're going to fold this edge so it lies along the crease we've just made. So I'm going to fold that diagonally along this crease like that. I don't know if that was easy to see. So let's do the other one. So this edge to that vertical crease, and you'll notice that this edge doesn't line exactly with the white side. You can see there's a bit of paper sticking out. That's what it should look like, and that is a finished module. We need 2 of these, so I'm going to quickly fold the next one, which we've partly done already. So, fold those diagonals. There. So now we have our two identical modules. I'm going to turn one of them the other way up, and what we're going to do is this white section is going to slide into this and lie on top of this. So just putting that inside there. And what we're going to do is these triangles, so let's start with this one so it's easiest for you to see. So this triangle, we're going to value fold it inside, and what it will do is it will lock this tab. So as I value fold this in, it will lie over the top of that and hold that in place, and it can lie flat like that. So that is now locked in on that side, and we'll do the same on this side. So here's a tab, here's our triangle. We're going to value fold that over the top and flatten it. And that's two modules locked together. What I also like to do is this grey triangle, I'm going to reverse fold it inside. So I'm just going to change the direction of that crease so that is now on the inside. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So reverse the direction. Okay. And we need to do exactly the same to lock the other module in place. It's harder for you to see though. So this section is going to go underneath here, and again we're going to value fold this point inside, but it's a lot harder to do because the other paper gets in the way. Not that hard though. So I'm holding that tab in place and then value folding this over the top and flattening it. There we are, one in place. So again, there's a tab here, I'm holding it in place and I'm folding this triangle over the top to lock it, and then I'm reverse folding this point inside, and then this one. Flat, we'll have a 2x1 rectangle, and that is our finished model. If we push the sides, it should pop into a cube shape like that. So we can flatten it, push it up. And there is my Snappy Cube.